our guys coming together. The group, you see it, every position group, every week, just gaining ground and getting closer to exactly where we wanted to be by the time we go out there next Thursday. So just them coming together, our leaders starting to lead, which is what we've been really pushing them to do. So been really impressed by that and happy with where we are.
Tim, what is starting out this week? Is it installation of plays? Is it? I mean, are you guys full in game preparation mode right now this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today was our first day of game one install, which was really good. So it's really fun practice, getting out there and getting an opportunity to really start working on someone else and putting the plan together. Tuesdays always a little bit new for the guys. So, but it went really well. I like what we did out there today. Our guys hustled around, and obviously we got a little more time to clean things up, but we're in a really good spot.
I'm not sure how much film you've went into on New Hampshire yet. What have you seen from them? I know they have two former All-American DNs.
Yeah, those guys, the defense been starting with those two guys. They really good players. They've done a really good job there in their careers. So, we definitely have to be aware of them starting off. They got a really good corner. Number 11 did a really good job for them last year and pass defense and in the run game. He's a guy they like to blitz a lot. So, that was good to see. But, just an overall defense that plays really hard, and that's exactly what you're going to get with those guys.
In terms of footwork, what changes have you seen with KJ Jefferson over camp?
When it comes to that, I think Coach Henshaw has done a good job of just making it consistent because, certain concepts you see him when he's throwing to the right, probably wasn't as comfortable with it. When he's throwing to the left, probably wasn't comfortable with it. But he's done a really good job in whatever those areas are cleaning up day to day. And right now, just like I said about our overall offense, and he's done a good job of just developing and progressing every day where we feel comfortable and feel really good about where he's at.
How would you evaluate the passing game as a whole as to where it's gone over the course of the last 3-4 weeks?
It's good. We have a lot of options at receiver right now. Then we're doing a really good job of getting our backs involved. And then I've talked last week about our tight end. So just having all those three skill areas being able to be a part of our pass game is going to be really big for us this year. And we just looking to from week to week be able to progress and give guys opportunities. But for us, it all starts with being able to get the ball downfield. We've been pretty headstrong on that, and that hasn't changed at all. So we want to be able to stretch the defense vertically, get our guys behind the defense, and we're doing a good job in that area right now.
Obviously, it's a team that has kind of built its offense, got a lot of weapons. But how have you put your stamp on what you want to see this offense do?
Well, I just want a consistent offense from week to week, and from quarter to quarter, half to half. You look last year, the offense had a lot of success. You look at numbers at the end of the year, guys did a really good job numbers-wise, running the ball, passing the ball. But you talk about in those key situations, being able to sustain and continue to execute at a high level when the games get tight, when the moments get tough, being able to execute at a high level and finish games. So that's really what I want to see. That's really what we've been all pushing our guys with last year. We look back on last season, just being able to finish as an offense.
On Saturday, Coach Malzahn said he feels like you guys have quality depth at wide receiver. What did you see during camp from that group? Who kind of pushed to the forefront to kind of be the top 4 or 5 guys in that spot?
Well, Kobe Hudson, being our top returner guy, the success that he had last year, obviously he's coming back with a lot of confidence, and that's really helped us. I think the guys that we brought in to compete with him has helped him try to elevate his game. Jacoby Jones has done a good job. Trent Whitmore has done a great job this camp. Chauncey Magwood, Xavier Townsend. We got a lot of guys that are lunch pail guys, and that's what I really appreciate about the group. And a lot of them haven't gotten the attention that they're probably going to get as this season goes, but you see them out there every day bringing it. They bring it every day, and I think everybody will be happy with what they see from our receiver group as this season progresses.
Tim, everyone talking to the players, they're excited about getting the season started. They want to hit some other people other than themselves. But as coaches, and for you coming back here, how excited are you about getting this season started and getting into game prep week and actually focus on something, an opponent rather than against each other?
Yeah, man, the excitement that's an understatement. How excited I am. Just yesterday coming in the building and we knowing that our focus was going to be all on our opponent. I think all of us felt it was a little bit different feeling. Going out there to practice today, that feeling was a lot different. Working with our scouts, making sure that they're exactly in the spots that we want them to be. As we, referring it back to film and all that. It's just a different feeling when you're about to play against someone else. So I'm super excited, man. Ready to get in the bounce house. Ready to see our student body and all of our fans rock that thing out, man. I missed that. Had a year away from it, but I'm excited to get back in there next week.
You talked about your wide receiver room as lunch pail guys. How would you evaluate their blocking? As that's a pretty important part of it.
That's super important, and that's probably more than anything. That's been the biggest focus for us this off season. You know, you go back, you look at last year, we had two guys that statistically in the receiving categories did a really good job. But when you really go and evaluate tape, you know, the things that we were doing without the ball wasn't always at the level that we needed it to be. You know, for us to, what I said before, finish games. You know, it might have been one missed block or one guy not screening on a block that could have changed the difference of the game. So, you know, that's been our identity this off season. Our guys, they've answered that bell, man. They're hard on each other now. You hear them coaching each other when it comes to guys not screening. When it shows up on tape and they know it's not looking the way that we've been pushing for it to look, they're correcting each other. And that's really what you want the group to start doing. Guys holding each other accountable when they know exactly what it should look like.
You have several options at running back. How do you plan to best utilize Johnny Richardson?
Johnny's a guy that's obviously he's had success whenever given his opportunities over his entire career. You know, having the opportunity to coach him. Johnny, he brings a lot to the table, explosive playmaker, and for us, what we got to do is we always going to find ways to get the ball in his hands. And I think, you know, when you look at us now, it's not going to be predominantly all the time from the running back position, but when you got a playmaker like him, you got to find other positions and other spots to put him in to get the ball in his hands. And we've done a good job of that in training camp, of, you know, just designing some things to be able to let him show what he's good at. And I think Johnny's done a really good job of even elevating the parts of his game that probably taken him off the field before. He's done a good job of elevating in those areas where he can stay on the field a little bit longer.
Penny's mentioned the heat several times when we've talked to him. So how do you feel like he's adjusted to the, you know, from a conditioning standpoint? What kind of role do you think he can provide from the get-go this season?
Penny, he's done a good job, man. You're right about that first week and a half. He was making the comments to me too, Coach, he's different. But you just watch him, man. The more that we throw him out there, Coach Cam Martin is doing a good job of pushing him. And really sometimes not, you know, because the guys, they get to that point where they think they're tired sometimes. And what we want to do is when our guys get there, we want to keep them out there and push them past that point. And as they gain confidence and knowing that they can stay out there and still have success, you know, that's when they start being able to elevate their game. And Penny's done that, you know, not scrimmage. 2 scrimmages ago, he did a really good job. He got us some red zone areas, and he was able to finish drives. And that's an area that he's really going to help us. But just overall, you know, you got a 1400-yard rusher that comes in. You know he's a guy that can create some explosive plays too. But he's done a really good job in pass pro, catches the ball well. He's an all-around back.
And we know that obviously the coach is going to have communication with the quarterback on the field now.
Right.
How have you seen that maybe help or change the game, or how you call game? I mean, there's a lot of information the quarterback's got to take in. Plus, he's got someone in his ear now.
Right.
What have you noticed from that? How has KJ maybe, you know, kind of been able to take that step and roll with that?
Yeah, already KJ being an experienced quarterback, playing a whole lot of football. The game is already pretty slow to him, but I think, you know, you adjusting to a new offense, and you know he's had spring and fall camp, which he's done a really good job continuing to progress there. But being able to have that communication from coach, you know, at the line of scrimmage up to 15 seconds, where you can tell him what certain looks look like, confirming what we've seen on film throughout the week. I think it calms all of them down, you know, him and the rest of our quarterbacks. And you see that in our scrimmages where they know exactly what it is. You know, we're not guessing a whole lot. They're using their eyes, but when they get confirmation from coach, it helps settle them big time.
On the offensive line, they have a few guys that, you know, return starters, but it was going to be a big camp for, say, a guy like Paul Rube out to
Right.
kind of, you know, see if he could earn a job and kind of show himself. Like, what kind of camp did Paul have? Did he kind of emerge to be one of your main guys at tackle?
Yeah, absolutely. Paul's had an outstanding camp. Been really impressed with him. You know, even back in spring ball, you know, getting back here and watching his development over the past year, it was very exciting to see. And then you watch him in fall camp, and his game has continued to develop as well. And you just see the confidence in it. You know, I remember when we first got here, Paul was a young guy still trying to figure out the game a little bit. And you see where he is now. He's just so much more of a confident player. You know, he's having fun out there, and then he's executing at a very high level. So really, really pleased with Paul right now. Excited to watch him play this season.
From what you've seen so far, how would you describe the identity of this offense?
I think our guys, we're a physical offense. That's exactly what we want to be. When we have day one of camp and we talk about who we want to be as an offense, that's exactly what I see now that training camp is ended. You know, when we talked to them on that first day about what we wanted to be, we weren't quite there yet. We had to get a lot of answers, and I think right now we have those answers. when it comes to how physical that we're going to be. You know, we know we're going to hang our hat being able to run the football, and everyone in our offense is going to be a part of that. You know, that's our interior guys and our perimeter guys going to be a part of that physical mentality. So I feel very confident that we're exactly who we are and who we want to be in terms of that. And then just also, our guys are having fun with each other. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we want them to do. You know, this game that they play, I want them to have fun. And that's what we end every single day with. We're going to execute, we're going to play at a high level, we're going to be physical and all that good stuff. But when it ends, man, we got to be having fun. And that's what you see our guys doing. They're celebrating with each other. No one is worried about who's getting the ball or how much shine this guy's getting. Everyone is pushing each other, and we all marching in the same direction. And that's what winning teams do.
Time for a few more.
You've talked throughout fall camp about Xavier Townsend and Kobe Hudson stepping up as leaders in the wide receiver room. How does that help with all the new transfers coming in?
Oh, it's helped big time because our guys, when you got your guys who've been in the program and they set the standard a certain way, you know, the guys that are coming in new, it's easy for them to fall in line, because if they don't, you know, they'll stick out like a sore thumb. And our new guys, the freshmen that we brought in, and our transfer guys who are experienced, Javaris, Jacoby, they've done a good job of just making sure that they continue to elevate that standard in the room. But all of our older guys, you talk about Kobe and Xavier, but I think Trent is a guy that's a big part of what our receiver room has turned into. Trent's a huge part of that, and Chauncey being here a year, not really getting a lot of opportunity last year, and now trying to, you know, stamp his position in the group. He's done a really good job in training camp. And then Jared Baker, another older guy that's been around here. Just guys that come to work every day, man. They haven't gotten that shine yet, but you see them every day pushing themselves to the point to be able to put themselves in position to get there.
And Gus is talking about self-reflection for himself, and you know, that kind of the urgency and the physicality he wanted to bring to camp. So now that it's game week, what's been his kind of attitude and his mood around campus, around the room? You know, what's his level of kind of excitement for this?
The coach has been super excited, you know, and it's all about that. And from him all the way down to us, that excitement is just brewing in our facility right now. You know, we know when he walked in the building, he got a smile on his face, and he's excited to go out there and play someone else. And when he walked in the offensive staff room, all of us, we carry that when we walk into our position rooms. And, you know, what he does, the coach has been a great leader for us. And then our players, they feel that positivity from him. And I think that's one thing that stood out. He's been very positive with our players and pushing them. And that's something that, you know, a leader has to do. And coach has done a really good job of doing that. Our players are feeding off of it, because they know that he believes in them when he's coming in with that positive mindset every day.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
So just coming back for another season after starting last year, just kind of how much more comfortable are you at UCF as you're working with the same specialist unit too? Is it a pretty cohesive unit at this point?
Yeah, everybody's super cohesive, and I have a lot more confidence in myself and kind of my abilities. I know what to expect with the bounce house, kind of all the unknowns that you come in as a first-year guy, and the coaches, how we operate on the sideline, all those little things. Feeling a lot more comfortable about it, and just ready to go.
Gage, what have you seen from the special teams group, and what stood out to you? Like you said, another year with pretty much the same group. What has stood out to you about how this group has gone through fall camp this year?
Just the consistency of everybody, of Mitch, of Boomer, of myself, of Michael Carter, just guys being way more consistent. You see all the hard work we put in the off season. It's kind of, coming together at practice. So that's what I'm seeing, just consistency overall.
Coach Malzahn said Sunday would be more about special teams, working some things out. Obviously, you guys struggled a little bit last year with punt coverage. What have you noticed from that?
Just emphasis on it, and trying to kind of work out our kinks. And we had 6 periods the other day of just working on special teams, working on that, covering. And we got a lot of good players on our special teams or punt coverage unit, so you'll see improvement there.
Coach Harris said practice is supposed to be hard, but he wants players to have fun.
Yeah.
Has practice been hard, and have you had fun?
I think the specialists, we make it hard on ourselves. We work a lot on our own, and we try to do as much as we can so we're prepared. But yeah, we always have fun together. We're always joking and having fun.
Beyond personnel, what sorts of changes are being made to address the punt coverage?
We're going with similar similar things we've done in the past, but just working on the small technical differences, the techniques that maybe we missed last year, but we're kind of tightening down on those and putting emphasis more on it this year.
Have you noticed Gus talked about making this one of the toughest fall camps since he's been here. Have you noticed that? Have you guys noticed that? And what's been his comments about being tough about toughness and being
Yeah.
tougher. Have you felt like that's the main emphasis you guys have?
I think definitely on the whole team. I think the toughness for us is just straining in the situational. Our scrimmage, our third scrimmage, we did a lot of situational football and game-winning kicks, that kind of stuff. So it's not so much physical for us, but more mental straining and being ready for those big moments, the Boise State moments when we have to go out there and perform. I think that's the strain that he looks for out of us, and having confidence in us, knowing that when he sends us out there, it's getting done and how he wants it done. So.
With realignment, having changed the Big 12 a bit, what's kind of the emotions knowing that you're going to get a chance to play Arizona State this year?
It's all the same to me. It'll be good to go back there, see some of the staff that I remember, but it's all just get the job done and same game to game for me. I'm not looking too much into it.
What are the biggest changes that you've made in your camp season over season?
I'd say just trying to be more consistent on my field goals and trying to emulate some snappers that I watch and kind of take some techniques from them. Alex Ward, stuff like that. Watching his film, he sent me some stuff. So just kind of tweaking stuff that maybe wasn't as consistent or as technically sound as I wanted it to be, and emulating the professionals.
You talked about now you're familiar with the bounce house and just kind of being out there as a starter. Is it an adjustment for you to go out, especially going on the road, and it's a loud environment, there's fans screaming, and you got to do your job. So how did you kind of adjust to that last season?
To be honest with you, I love road games. I kind of thrive on it's us versus them. Kind of we're the road dogs. It's us three, me, Mitch, and Boomer out there, and we got to kind of perform under the pressure and it being loud. So honestly, I like road games. I love the bounce house, but that wasn't too much of an adjustment. I like seeing all the towns, all the little small cities that we go to, and they're fans. They're kind of little traditions and stuff like that. So it wasn't too big of a difference.
You said you like road games. What stands out to you? Are you one of those people that gets on the field and loves to hear the fans, the opposing fans, maybe giving you some guff and stuff like that?
Oh, I love it. I love just little things like Kansas State. All their sponsors were like Farmers of America, like stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. The chants they had, us being on the sideline, them chirping Boomer and just stuff like that. I love looking at the stadiums rolling into like Kansas and seeing the little towns, stuff like that. But yeah, love it all.
And you talked about talking with Alex about improving your game. We got a look at his self-evaluation process with a little pamphlet.
Mm-hmm.
What's your self-evaluation?
Same exact thing. I keep a notebook. I watch every single snap. I can tell you every single snap since I've been here, where it's been, where the laces have been. I keep a chart, location, laces, spiral, all that kind of stuff. Before practice, I write down like notes of what I want to achieve that day. I have 3 positives from practice, 3 negatives that I write down afterwards that I want to work on, and just trying to chip away each day and get as good as I can. So.
Last one for Describe Arizona State as a road venue.
Great weather, beautiful field, good stadium. We'll see how the fans are. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't been there in a little bit, so let's see how it is.
Perfect. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready to kicker Colton Boomer now.
This guy's trying to.
Yeah. How much more comfortable do you feel now that you've been here 2 years?
Yeah, it's definitely weird not having the butterflies anymore. It's kind of just, I've been telling the coach, like, I got rocks in my stomach. It's kind of like, I can still admire the beauty of it, but it's definitely not that love at first sight feeling, you know what I mean? But it's still like, it's a relationship, You gotta keep it fun. You gotta keep it live. But yeah, it's awesome.
Colton, how's your fall camp going for you? I mean, coming off last year, what was kind of your focus, and how have you been able to achieve those goals during this camp?
Yeah, just ball striking. That's been huge, and just having more technical work. Just really Jake Elliott, watching a lot of his film because we're similar stature, we got similar form. So watching him has been helping a lot with like more of his steps and movements, what he's looking at on the ball. And also Spencer Schrader, kicker for the Colts right now, he's been helping me a lot behind the scenes, and a few other coaches have been really helping me out. But just getting my technique down and just, obviously healing up in the spring, just stacking days, and just making sure I'm just really iron sharp with Mitch and Gage. I tell them something like a swing thought or like, hey, I'm going to focus on this today, and they'll keep me accountable and say, hey, make sure you're focused on this, and that's been really helping.
You've talked about being kind of limited in your first 2 fall camps. What was it like just being able to go kick bumps right now?
Oh yeah, it's definitely weird. It's the first time I actually had a fall camp. Shoot, sorry, I forgot about that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't. It's definitely cool to actually be able to like get proper work in, and I'm not just like going in the first game like shoot, hope it works. Like, you know what I mean? It's nice to actually go out and like have true confidence and not just some like, all right, just got out of the training room, like cross my fingers, let's go. But it's super nice. Now Coach Malzahn has actually been really awesome, like putting me in really good situations to like hurt my mental and like physical strength, like letting me hit from deep, but also just getting away at this 40 and in, and yeah, just putting really good pressure on me. I can't thank him enough for that.
What's your mindset in this camp? You having fun?
It's fun. I'm a professional having fun. Definitely, I feel like that's something I can bring to the team. Always the one to crack the first joke, whether it's good or bad. But no, it's really nice just to be able to go and have fun and not have to worry about anything from a physical standpoint. It's like I can just actually be free, you know, just get after it. Just get after it. But
In the spring, you talked about the physical and mental adversity you kind of went through. So how do you feel, you know, that those experiences, how they kind of helped you, and what do you feel like you most learned about yourself through the process?
yeah, shoot. Man, really just relying on my faith. Like at the end of the day, it's like I'm playing a kid's game at a super high level, so like keeping it in perspective, but also like not trying to like disvalue it. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's very important. Like I'm paying people's like food gets put on the table with how Mitch and I perform and how Gage performs. So it's like, yes, it is very important, but also going out the field like shoot, I'm playing a game, let me have fun. Like, so that's been really cool, but really my faith though, and just not getting my identity too stuck into football and knowing that I'm somebody outside of whatever happens on the field.
Kind of building on that as you prepare for the season, how would you evaluate your season last year, and what did you kind of learn that you brought into spring practice and in fall camp?
Yeah, I feel like I started off hot, and really just after the OU game, it was pretty downhill after that. But just more of this season, just getting better throughout the year, and not just starting off hot, but starting off hot and just getting hotter. So really just by really refining my technique throughout the year. Like obviously I'm not going to make major adjustments, but there's going to be little tweaks here and there that I can work on, and just not get satisfied with like, okay, I went 5 for 5 in one game and every ball like went down the middle, but it's like, okay, I can still be better. Like maybe I didn't adjust for the win that time, or maybe I could have done better on the kickoff. So it's just little stuff like that, just to keep on getting better and not just be complacent.
Colton, do you expect to do all the duties this year? Field goal, kickoff, everything?
I mean, I would like to. I mean, I just wake up and I do whatever they tell me, so it depends on the day. But I mean, yeah, I just really getting up in the morning. If Coach Malzahn wants me to just hit field goals, I'll do that. If he wants me to do all of it, I'm all for it. But
did you improve on kickoff this year? Was that an area you've been trying to?
Yeah, most definitely. That's definitely a wash my feet, not my lips situation. So you guys can wait for the games to watch that. But yeah.
Colton, do you feel like yourself this year? Do you feel more like yourself this camp going to this year than you have at any time since you've been here?
I mean, I'm always feeling myself, but I definitely feel a lot more mature. I feel like I went through things to actually build character. So I'm not just gonna be some like ditzy kid out there, but I'm like taking aspects of both, of like having that maturity and like, okay, this is my craft. Like I got put in this opportunity to like be the best at it, but also having that kid in me where it's like, oh, it's game day, let's have fun. You know what I mean? So it's like work during the week, have fun on the weekends.
In evaluating last year, do you feel like it was more of a technical thing that created some of the struggles? Or do you feel like it was a confidence thing, or was it a mixture? Or like what would you say was kind of the main source of maybe some of that downhill that you talked about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, obviously, I was not at 100% physically, so that definitely was not ideal. But I definitely had some technique stuff, and more of just like what I'm focusing on during my routine, instead of just be like, oh, make the kick. It's like, oh, how am I gonna make the kick? Like, what is my process? What are the bullet points for me to make the kick? Okay, like my feet have to be lined this way. I have to be aiming here. I have to be seeing this dimple on the ball. So it's like actually having a rhyme behind a reason and not just, again, just crossing my fingers and just praying that it goes through. I'm still praying that it goes through, but I'm praying with reason.
How has Grant pushed you during this game?
Grant always pushes me ever since he came in. Even when I was hurt in spring, he's good motivator, but he's also like we go out, we compete against each other, but then we also just bounce ideas off each other. It's like, hey, like how do my hips look in the back of my stance on that? It's like, I mean, it's really like watching paint dry for other people, but for us, it's like it's pretty darn fun. So it's nice to be able to nerd out about like little small technique stuff with him, because there's not a lot of people that will be willing to do that like he and I will. So I definitely love that about our relationship.
Colton, do you like road games? Out of you listening to Gage, you can say how much you enjoy the road games and stuff. I mean, you're kind of on the edge of the sideline, sometimes maybe a little bit closer to the stands. Sometimes you get called out. But how do you like road games?
Yeah, I mean, my first game at FAU, I got called a female bodybuilder, so that was pretty good. That was honestly, that was the best one I've probably ever heard. Well, I'm trying to think of some more roasts I got. Got called a soccer mom this year. That was really good. I love that. But I mean, I'm pretty easy to make fun of because I'm my short stack. I get that one a lot. But I don't know. It's really fun to like get made fun of in the stands. I think it's really funny because it kind of like takes your mind off of everything a little bit, especially if it's like you're going into halftime or something. It's really good stuff. But I mean, the uprights are the same width and the ball's the same size. And the only thing that changes if the field's grass or turf. So it's like there's not too much. But I mean, when it gets louder, I do better, to be honest. So it's like I kind of do like the pressure of having everybody screaming at me. It makes things a little bit more spicy. But it's good stuff though. I'm good for both.
Anybody else? Last one, too.
What goes into your run-up before your field? Obviously, we see you like doing the little like route to get into position.
Oh, to get to the spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like I'm trying to see where I'm going to be aiming on the uprights. I'm just asking myself like, what's my aiming point? And my brain will naturally like account for the wind if it is like left or right. So it's like there's a left or right wind, and I'm out the left hash. I'm going to be going like middle left, and I'm envisioning that as I'm running up, and then it's like I get set, go through the whole deal. But yeah, I'm not just going out there, just closing my eyes though. Yeah, there's stuff going through my brain. My frontal lobe is definitely working.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Colton.
Appreciate you guys.
And we've got to change. Unfortunately, Mitch had class at noon, so he's not going to be able to make it today. So that'll be all for today.